All right, hello everybody. Welcome to Cosmic Origins. My name is Jace. It's good to see you all. It's been a while since I've made a video, and this one, as you could probably tell by the title, is going to be all about XRP and Ripple, which is a company, a cryptocurrency company that I believe is very intimately tied in with the new quantum financial system that is a part of this great awakening that we're experiencing. So if you're a follower of this channel, you know all about the Great Awakening and you know that the shifts we're going through. I've been putting a lot of time and energy and research into understanding the crypto community because I've been getting pings that it's very important to the direction that the Earth is headed and what this technology is really meant for and capable of. And so today I wanted to break down for everybody that has been asking, because a lot of people, both in my community, friends of mine, as well as in Alexis's community on Ascension Diaries, I know a lot of people have been very interested in learning more about Ripple, XRP, and what is it? Why is it important? Why is it different than, say, Bitcoin or any other kind of cryptocurrency? And two, how can you buy it? So if you already know what it is and you just want to know how to buy it, I'll put a timestamp down below and you can skip ahead in the video if you just want to know how to buy it. Otherwise, I'm going to go through explaining what this is and how it ties in with everything that I like to talk about on this channel. And I know a lot of people are, let's say, skeptical of cryptocurrency. So this will be interesting. I'm just going to get a little comfortable here because there's a lot to talk about. So let's go ahead and dive into it. What is Ripple? Ripple is a company that has the goal of essentially being the world's leading financial system. This is their website. Their website says, instantly move money to all corners of the world. Discover why hundreds of financial institutions choose RippleNet to provide a better payments experience and enable greater economic opportunity for everyone, everywhere. Okay. So Ripple is the company that has created XRP, the cryptocurrency. So XRP is synonymous, say, with like Bitcoin. But whereas Bitcoin was made by an anonymous person, Satoshi Nakamoto, XRP was made by Ripple. So off the bat, there's already some differences. One of the biggest things that people say is an issue with, say, Bitcoin is that it's unregulated and used for the black market primarily, which is very true. As far as to its origins, it's hard to say whether it had positive or negative intent with the creation of it. I think that the blockchain technology was a technology that was seeded here on this planet, if you catch my drift, that was intended for other things. So as the Ripple CEO, Brad Garlinghouse, puts it, Bitcoin could very well be the Napster of music, meaning Napster created the first online streaming platform for music, but they ended up running into all these legal issues, and eventually other platforms like Spotify, SoundCloud, Tidal, Pandora took over the market, and now Napster is not a company anymore. So the CEO of Ripple said that Bitcoin might be a Napster, which is kind of what I'm getting at here. So the black market being one of the biggest issues with Bitcoin and its lack of ability to regulate it, which is also a virtue of it, right? So the virtue of the blockchain technology is decentralization, meaning versus banks, which have been allowed to control all the money, central banking, the blockchain, no matter who creates the blockchain currency, the blockchain itself is essentially decentralized, right? Now, certain changes could be made to the blockchain in a democratic way by the community of people if they were to, say, vote on it, but that's getting into more complicated things. So generally, the difference primarily between XRP and Bitcoin is that XRP is one, regulated and not owned, but managed, we'll say, by a company, but they don't own it, right? The other thing is the utility purpose of it. So Bitcoin, the utility purpose is simply in storing value. Other than that, there's no real purpose to Bitcoin. It doesn't serve any other utility. XRP is not only a store of value, but it is the backbone of what is called the Ripple network. So the Ripple network is really the virtue of this new financial system. And essentially what the Ripple network is if you think about the macrocosm, microcosm, the Ripple network is sort of a neurological network of that is a quantum financial system. And how that plays out is that Ripple has signed on hundreds of banks and financial institutions worldwide, internationally, that serve as nodes for their network. So kind of think of them as like networks in the brain, right? So no one node is in charge of the brain, but every node has somewhat of a say on the brain. The more nodes that you have, the more decentralization and freedom. Now, with Bitcoin, when you send a transaction, one of the virtues of Bitcoin is the instant nature of sending transactions, but it still takes a while. Bitcoin takes 30-ish minutes to send a payment. XRP takes 2 to 4 seconds to send a payment internationally, anywhere in the world. So when it comes to this Ripple network, what they're doing is, rather than with mining with Bitcoin, so say when you send Bitcoin, right, the blockchain that Bitcoin is built around relies on the mining process, which is that hardcore computational energy that's required to do these algorithms, which I'm sure you've heard about. That has always been a red flag for people as far as the energy consumption and it not being efficient with Bitcoin, right? It takes more and more computing power to get more and more Bitcoin as we move on, as they do the halvening every couple years with the value of the mining. So with Ripple, you don't have mining, you have the network that processes the transactions. So say if I want to send, $500 to, we'll say Russia, I could theoretically go to a Ripple supporter like Bank of America or American Express, which are both on the Ripple program, the Ripple network. I could give them $500. What they do is they put that into their Ripple network. It transfers to XRP and then into Russian dollars within 2 to 4 seconds. And within that time period, within a minute or so, my friend in Russia can go to his bank, which is also connected to the network, if his bank is, and he can pull out that $500 within a couple minutes, depending on the bank and their speed with things. But the actual network is able to send transactions in 2 to 4 seconds. So this is the quantum financial system. When we say quantum, quantum meaning instant, this is the beginning. I think this is like the slow, laggy version. And eventually it'll be, in the blink of an eye that these kind of things happen. So this is the network that Ripple has set up. They have set up this node and these variety of nodes. And it's basically all about just waiting for the network to turn on, so to say, for things to start getting active. So we have all these hundreds of financial institutions which are plugged into this network, and they're almost just waiting to go. It's like they're just waiting to have the on switch turned on for the dollar and the old financial system to collapse and for this to be used more. And so one of the things that Ripple is doing is that they're taking on Swift, right? So pretty much the two competitors for cross-border payments of the future and of the now are Ripple and Swift. So Swift represents the old central banking dynasties and their connections. Swift is, I forget what the acronym stands for, but it's a society of international central banks, and they are the authority on how all international transactions are processed. Now, if I want to send something to, let's say Russia again, the quickest way, as Brad Garlinghouse of Ripple puts it, is to get on a plane and fly the cash there. So that's definitely like the old world system, right? We're moving into a new kind of financial freedom and computational network and sovereignty and ability. So what we're seeing on one level is the old central banking dynasties, which are trying to hang on to their power, and the new Ripple, which I believe is backed by what we would call the Alliance, or by the 17 team. And I have other reasons that I'll kind of provide throughout this video that demonstrate that. But this being one of the primary, that you have Swift, the old central banking dynasties, and Ripple, the new quantum financial system. So, of course, Swift is trying to play catch up, right? And so Swift has just unveiled their version of the Ripple network, which is called Swift GPI. And they just went live with their first network in the UK, basically, to test this system on December 2nd is when that was posted. So, yeah, XRP disrupting Swift GPI and correspondent banking. This is a whole article from, well, it's not from American Express, but it's taking quotes from American Express talking about why Ripple is the future and why Swift is basically the past. And so, a lot of people were worried that Ripple was the new world order currency, right? And so that's why I'm trying to point this out as one of the things that shows that it's not. You have the dichotomy, you have the balance, you have the old central banks, and you have the new. And, you might say, well, how do you know they're not one and the same? Which is a great question. It's something I've been thinking about and putting a lot of research into. And one of the main other reasons is because their chosen cryptocurrency, let's say the DS, the dark groups, their chosen cryptocurrency failed. Their chosen digital one world currency was Libra, which was from Facebook. And Libra disastrously failed. It didn't do well at all. And now they've totally scrapped it, as far as I know. Ironic that it's called Libra when Libra is balance, right? Another example of the dark taking control of that kind of symbolism and co-opting it. But yeah, Ripple was always on opposition with Libra. So time after time again, we see examples of how Ripple is going against the old DS dynasties. You know what I mean by DS. I'm not going to say the full word because it'll get me banned. So yeah, moving on here, there are, I'll come back to that. So one of the other big things with the blockchain and the direction that blockchain is going is with voting. So one of the things that was brought up with the election fraud was how we can implement a new voting system. And one of the things that came up was the blockchain, and how the blockchain can be used for a secure and accurate voting system. And this is where I think that the blockchain, which again, if you're not familiar with it, the blockchain is the backbone of all cryptocurrencies. The blockchain is essentially a decentralized network that can operate with a variety of platforms, whether it's voting or currency or whatever. A decentralized platform that keeps record of every single transaction or vote or whatever in existence without any central authority being able to control or manipulate the data. So blockchain is really the future. And it was brought up in the Arizona hearing. And in particular, this group, Votes, VOATZ. Here's a Supreme Court document talking about votes and how it's been used in several elections and going over its use in those elections. Now, smaller elections, nothing like the presidential, but potentially we'll be getting there. So Ripple is helping MIT develop Votes blockchain technology for elections. So really, I'm seeing Ripple as being this, and a lot of people are seeing it as being this quantum financial reset, like the thing that we've been waiting for. People have been talking about gold and silver and collecting things, but a lot of people have been, rightfully so, skeptical of the crypto world. I was for sure too. I was like, I don't want anything to do with crypto, until I actually started to learn about it more. And I'm like, wait, this could actually be a very beneficial part of the future. One of the things that is being discussed within the XRP communities and stuff is the, first I should say, the XRP community is surprisingly a lot like the 17 community. I was baffled when I came across the XRP community on various social media platforms, and they were decoding breadcrumbs and all sorts of stuff just like 17. It was like they had found a separate part of the same operation that was compartmentalized, because I think that's what they're doing. The Alliance has created these separate compartmentalized operations to help wake people up. XRP and the financial reset is one of them. And there's insiders that are just like 17 within those groups that are giving drops, and people are doing gematria decodes and all sorts of stuff. So an example of that is there's this one Twitter that I have been entertained following because they have decoded a lot of gematria type stuff. For instance, when you put in votes into a gematria calculator, XRP global currency is one of the top equivalent results. And that's just like the beginning. There's a lot of stuff like that. So yeah, it's very fascinating. One of the other things is that Visa has partnered with a company that is now integrating a certain kind of cryptocurrency, the US dollar coin, which is a type of stable coin. So this is the doorway into opening, being able to use Visa for other kinds of cryptocurrencies. Also, BlackRock has hired former Ripple executives. So there's a lot of financial moves going on in this game, a lot of chess pieces being moved around into different places. It's very fascinating. And as far as potential price of this, I would say this is a conservative estimate. So now we're going to get into the buying and how you actually will invest in XRP, right? So you're probably going now, okay, like this seems somewhat legit as a potential for the future of the quantum financial reset. Like it's pretty much this or SWIFT, right? Those are really the only two options. SWIFT is the old central banking dynasties. Ripple is the new quantum financial system. Decentralized, centralized, right? And so as far as investing, a lot of people are like, well, you know, do they have a IPO? Like, can you invest in them in the market? And no, they're not a public company. The way that you would invest in them is by purchasing their cryptocurrency. So again, this cryptocurrency, XRP, is set up to be the center for all global financial transactions. So anything that goes through this network, assuming that this is the new global network that most banks use, any currency that goes through it would be converted to XRP as a transitory like currency, and then into the destination currency, which means the value of XRP will be the sum essentially of the value of the world currencies. It'll be stable at that. It won't be volatile like other currencies. And realistically, what's happening here is the dollar is crashing, the stock market is crashing, Bitcoin is crashing, most cryptocurrencies are crashing. And at that point, when everything crashes, well, now we have this network that is already all set up with the banks, with agreeing banks that I assume have worked with the Alliance. It's all set up, and now all this money that's been lost or taken out, liquidated from those markets that are failed, it's all going to go into XRP, right? Everything. And it's not like the average person is going to invest in XRP. It's going to be the banks, right? So the banks are going to buy up the majority of the XRP when this happens. And then there will not be very much for the average person to use, because it's likely that another coin like XLM, which is a sister company, it's Stellar coin, ironically. This gets into galactic stuff, which I might have to make another video on, but this is set up to be a huge thing. So Stellar coin is the sister company that a lot of people are talking about potentially being the more like common currency used by the daily person, XRP being more the bank one. But if you buy some XRP now, while it's literally 60 cents, at this moment, it's 60 cents. I bought it when it was like 17 cents and then again at like 30 cents. It's going to be, you know, this is a official like, you know, media, literally medium.com actually, ironically. I would say this is a conservative estimate to call it $10,000, but it was designed for $10,000. I think we're going to see at least that. I think we're going to see at least the price of Bitcoin. Oh, sorry, I didn't have this other page up. There we go. XRP designed for 10,000. I think we're going to see at least the price of Bitcoin, which is almost 20,000. if not multiple times the price of Bitcoin. If assuming Bitcoin crashes and the stock market crashes and this financial reset happens, it's all going to go through this. Now, your gold and silver, still good investments. It's likely that XRP will be backed by gold. That's what a lot of these decoders have found. XRP backed by gold, XLM Stellar backed by silver, and then other coins for other precious metals and stuff. And so it would be a way to send gold instantly anywhere in the world, digitally. So 10,000, right? It's 60 cents right now. So this is where a huge part of the financial reset is occurring too. This is where I think a lot of people who have the intuition, a lot of starseed type people have the intuition of what's going on, and this is going to be an instant almost flip of the pyramid, right? So all the people who have been at the top of their pyramid with the stock markets and everything, that's going to crash. They're going to lose all their money. The people who have been intuitively following this and gold and silver and the kind of preppers group, it's going to instantly flip the pyramid, which I think has been the plan the whole time. And it's why this hasn't been announced on some massive level, because they don't want these big, corrupt people rushing into it. It's like they're keeping it secret and only letting the people who actually figure out about it get to take advantage of what's going to happen before it blows up. So probably wondering, okay, tell me how I can get some now. Aggressive expansion 2021. So lots of stuff coming. So how do you buy some? This is kind of a brief explanation on the type of places that you buy and store. So you're going to have to buy through an exchange. So what's an exchange? An exchange is a platform where users can buy and sell and occasionally lend cryptocurrencies, right? So popular exchanges that you can buy crypto on, including XRP, Coinbase. That's probably the most popular. I personally don't trust Coinbase a ton. I would recommend going to Uphold, uphold.com. They have minimal to no fees as opposed to Coinbase, which has like a 2% fee. And I just trust them more. Coinbase, I get that like Silicon Valley Facebook vibe from, and so does the community. They've had a lot of crashes. They're just not that trustworthy. So I would recommend going to Uphold. If Uphold doesn't work for whatever reason, then go to Coinbase. But I would transfer your money to Uphold if you're in Coinbase, because I wouldn't store your money in Coinbase. They just have had issues. If you're going to invest, like, say, a couple $100s or more, I would recommend buying a hard wallet. So a hard wallet is like a USB. It allows you to store your stuff. Well, technically you're storing your passwords externally, not the actual thing. Your currency is always kept within the blockchain. Your password is your key in. So I can make another video about this to go in more into depth, but essentially the most secure way to store your cryptocurrency is with a hard wallet. And I recommend ledger.com and a product called the Ledger Nano S. This is it. It's like $60, and it's the most secure way to go about holding your crypto. Like I said, you can hold it on the exchanges, but exchanges are notorious for crashing and having issues and stealing people's money and all sorts of stuff. So you have to buy it on the exchange, which you have to do this government check called KYC, know your customer. You got to give them your social and your ID and stuff. It usually gets approved pretty fast. You can buy your crypto, and then if you get one of these guys, you could transfer it to it. Until then, because this will take like a week to arrive, put it in Uphold or another exchange that you trust. Kraken is also another good one. I've never used Kraken, but it's pretty popular. And of course, the Kraken is a pretty popular thing right now. So yeah, that's oh man, I know it's a lot to cover in a little amount of time. I'm trying to get like the information people are going to need. But yeah, I think I covered mostly everything. Please drop questions down below, and I will make another video answering those questions. I highly recommend buying in XRP as soon as possible. Like I said, it's at 61 cents. It's likely to be at over $1 and not see anything under $1 again within the next like week. And a big part of this that I feel internally is that this crash, this market crash, is coming a lot sooner than we think, like potentially this month, and that the price increase that we would see in XRP would literally be an overnight thing that would occur when, say, the crash happens, you know, however many days that the crash occurs for, the days of darkness we hear about, things come back online, internet, banks come back online, and all of a sudden, without people knowing, all of the banks are now holding your assets in XRP as the reserve currency. And so all of a sudden, everything's using XRP. It was never like made to be an official thing. And all of a sudden, the people who have XRP are very, very well off and now a part of the new 1%. So again, gold, silver, still very helpful, but I would recommend also putting a little bit of your savings into this. I think it'll be extremely useful. And so if you found this video helpful, you can donate to me and my channel here, help support my family, what we're doing. I'll put my PayPal down below. I'll also put crypto links that you can send crypto to if you want to donate via crypto. And I will have all of the important links that I showed in the comment box down below. So yeah, please leave questions, and I hope you found this helpful. If you would like to purchase one of Alexis and I's new merch, this is a We Are the Ones We've Been Waiting For maroon hoodie. We have a ton of cool merch on there. I've been making fun designs. It's like so much fun. I'll put that Teespring link down below. These are just like the best, and they're such good vibes. It's got the Sri Yantra. We're the ones we've been waiting for. So super comfy, good winter coat. But yeah, hope you found this useful, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out, and I love you all.